let's try to cover what we have to do for the next tutorial. So as you can see, we have tried a little bit of that page. What was the name? We were trying to create water park. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's not up yet. So this is one of the issues which I was telling you guys. Usually when you restart your PC, there's a Windows service that's taking up port 80 branch cache. Branch cache. Stop the service. Then you go and refresh. This happens sometimes. For those of you who are not able to find branch cache, maybe you can try to find information. IIS. Try to find IIS, because Windows might be running IIS by default, or you might install IIS and then you can try to uninstall it. That also frees up port 80. You can just install and uninstall IIS. Right, so it's not yet properly taken the page. Why is that? Yeah, it's up. Alright. This was our page. We were trying to create a hotel example. We were on the page. For some reason it doesn't load up properly. Why? Did I do anything change? Home page. Alright, so let's go ahead first with the partials. So we had these partials which was create, bottom, and then you had your so this is basically the footer. CSS page where you had inserted all the suite alert as well. Remember, this was the one you have inserted. And then I added this light blue. Did it actually take that white blue or not? Let's refresh. I'm not sure why the page doesn't appear the way I want it to appear. Control F5. It'll remove the cache. It doesn't pick up for some reason. It was working fine. We are having several issues these days. Okay, so the past two videos also we saw several issues. Always there will be several simple issues. We can always solve them. There is nothing to worry about them. And this is the last thing we did. We created these alerts, so you can use them in the alerts. And I had some issues. I ran into some issues using alerts in the controller, in the hotel controller. So if you have these meta tags, navigation, everything running properly, you shouldn't have any problem. Everything should be running properly. And then right now we are located here in the index.php. You see, this is the index.php where we are trying to get the hotels. So what is happening here in this case is you have your hotel class, and then in your hotel controller, because you are landing on this page here, you can see the last time one of the issues we faced was on the route.web.php. There was a problem here. So now with the update of this Laravel, we have to do several changes here, where we have to actually enter this line, as well as we have to do this kind of setup. Previously it was done differently. Now you have to do it differently, so you have to append suffix class. So this is the controller class. So resourceful hotel controller, where add, edit, delete, and everything will work fine. Okay, so when you go into the index page or home page of hotel, you are arriving at the hotel controllers index page, which is this page. So what you are doing is you are going into the database, you are grabbing all the hotels 20 at a time, and sending them into this variable, and then you are sending this variable across into the compact function. And when it receives this function from the hotel.index page, is going to take this information and then display it based on how you have configured the index page. And that is inside hotel, inside resources, views, hotel, you have several pages, and index.php is where we are sending the data. So you go into the index.php. here you are receiving the data, and as I have been telling you guys, it's an easier way of making pages where you don't have to worry about the initial headers and meta tags, footers, navigations. You just only configure that this page extends from the master page, and that the section is from here. And this is a mistake here, all customers, this is a preparation mistake. So hotel, all hotels appear on this page, and then in the hotels page we are going to have a hotel variable that we are getting from the controller, which is this. So if there are hotels, then we are going to show this page. If there are no hotels, then we are going to only display something known as no hotels. Okay, so all these CSS that you see here are coming from Bootstrap. So just follow these basic layouts. If you have your own flavors of these kind of CSS, just follow it. We have a for loop here. This is belonging to Laravel's Blade engine. So you put an at sign and you start some PHP, and once you are done, you put another at sign and end it. See, end if, and the rest is going to be normal HTML. So it's very easy to create the pages. We have a form here. Every form that you submit on Laravel, it must have this field called CSR field. This is to protect the page, to protect the form, so someone else cannot submit a CSR field that is invalid. If you submit this information on another application, it's going to be a problem. It will not work. So this is an example of a form where we are displaying the user and allowing him to so displaying the hotel and listing them as a table. You can see here there's a table here. Then for each table, each hotel, we are creating this hotel column, hotel table, where we have a TD meaning that's the column, right? So hotel slash hotel ID slash edit. This is a hyperlink. So we are allowing this link because if you remember correctly last time when we discussed about the routes, we said if you want to edit a user, you have to send in this format, yeah, in order to execute the edit function of the controller. So the user ID must come here. So that's the reason why we have this setup, hotel ID slash edit. So when you click the hotel name, it will take you into edit page. That's the idea. And also once you have the data from hotel, you can show the hotel name as a separate column. Again, it's not a separate column, it is the column that is clickable. Then you have another item here where you are showing an edit button. In case if you click the edit button, still it works the same way as clicking the hotel name itself. Both of them take you into a page where you can edit, and that is the purpose of the edit.blade.php. So every page you have to create separately. For the index page to show all the hotels, and then you have create page to create one hotel, and you have edit to edit one hotel, like that. That's how it goes on. Okay, then there's another separate form here. The purpose of this form is because this information that we have here is deleting a user. So in order to delete, we have this delete button, but in addition to that, we have a method, you see here, a hidden field called delete. So this triggers delete, and the reason is we have a URL for the form. The form will be submitted into hotel slash hotel ID. So hotel slash hotel ID have two methods, and that is this method. Both of them are going to work. One of them is going to be update, the other one is going to be delete, based on the verb that you put there. Verb meaning what you put there in the hidden field. See, delete. If it is patch or put, that means you are going to do an update. So you'll see that when you look at the edit page. See, in the edit page also we have information about a hotel, edit a hotel, and then we get information about the hotel, and here we have again, see, hotel slash hotel ID in order to save. See, hotel.id, and we have a hidden field called patch, so it is going to make it update. So it will change the function that is executed. One of them is update in this case. Why? Because you have to update the user, isn't it? So we need to complete this tutorial in order for you to see an example of how it works, and in order for you to try to do your tutorial for Laravel for customer. You already created the customer table and customer class, but we haven't completed the customer views. We haven't completed customer controller even, so that is what you are going to do as a tutorial. For me, I'm going to show you how the hotel is executed and how the hotel functions will be completed. So we are here in this this page, and this is our hotel page. So hotel, where it takes you into the hotel page, and you can see here it actually lists them, but there is an issue with the CSS. Why is not taking up my CSS page? Let me try to take my master page and see what's the error here. Master.blade.php has layout, alert, show, and then CSS. Okay, we don't need a semicolon here, that's the problem. Yeah, so why did we put a CSS? Why did we put a line there? You don't need a semicolon there. You can see there was a semicolon here, and then yield any CSS, and then layout, navigation, bottom script, as well as alerts show script, and then we have our CSS page here having the correct format as well. Sweet alerts. And previously there was some issue here, I thought, so I'm just going to give it back. Yeah. So background color, some CSS I think is causing this issue. I don't know why this is not showing up properly. Okay, so hotel slash still is the same. Where is our CSS, guys? It was working fine. So when after I restarted this system, it seems to have some error, which we'll figure out. Don't worry about that. Okay, so we have the tweet alert. I hope you have integrated correctly. Remember, there was a tutorial we followed where we added this Soshai boy alerts, and we published the CSS into the page, and we were stuck in a error message when we tried to create if the hotel exists or not. So in the hotel controller, if the hotel exists when we are storing, it will actually show this error, and this is where we had the issue. So I have replaced that message with a different type of message called error message, and this works fine. So if there is an error, it will show an error, it will go back to the create page. If there is no error, it will add the hotel into the database and go into the home page of hotels to display all the hotels. Okay, and right now in the index method, it is redirecting the customer into the view page. So here we can see hotels, and then let's take into the add hotel page. So hotels, add a hotel, it takes us into this page where we are adding a hotel. I'm not sure why we have all these CSS issues still. Let me try to open this thing on incognito, see if this is an issue related to CSS. No, it doesn't really change. Definitely related to the CSS, right? Because it doesn't pick up the folder, right? Did we start it correctly? It should. Alright, and then it's really bugging me why this page doesn't work the way I want. Class CSS. This is the links automatically formatted. What's the issue here? This style. Okay. Master. Just removing these things to test it. Where the actual error is coming from. No. What about our home page? If you actually go into the home page, oh, it's still the same. So even this page is not showing it properly. Layouts master. So is it not able to find the layout master? Resources views layouts. It is. While we are in this page, hotel index, both of them are taking the stuff from my header. You can see the header also appears, navigation also appears, but they are not taking up the CSS. Why? Oh, I understand. I'm sorry, guys. So this is one reason why you really need to have your CDN links converted into proper files. Okay, you see it doesn't work because I have no internet connection. My Wi-Fi is gone, and the CSS is coming from the CSS is coming from this CDN. See, so be careful, guys. It's to drive you into nuts sometimes, and you realize, yeah, this is real. So I'm not making these videos again. That's why you're seeing all these mistakes. I make the raw video and I'm sharing with you the raw video. I could have just deleted the video and created again, but it wastes a lot of time. No time for those things, right? When you are busy. So I'm working at office. I'm just finding sometimes here and there, creating this video for you guys, trying to make it productive for you. So I really expect you to also show me that, guys. Okay. So what you can do is you can download this CSS file and put it inside the folder in the CSS. Also this font awesome. That way, when you don't have internet, still it will work fine. So even if you don't have internet, things are going to be fine. That's the whole concept here. You see, let's try to refresh, and then it to take up the pages directly from the internet. Yeah, look at that. Right. So it's actually internet problem and CDN links. We will fix it afterwards. I will download them. I'll put them there so that it's going to work without internet. All right. So the CSS, this CSS file needs internet. Okay, hotels. This is what we are. You can see here we have some issues. We have two relaxing hotels, and what we were trying to do was we were trying to add a hotel with relaxing, and if we create and if the hotel exists, it should give us this error. Hotel already exists. That's what we wanted to do, right? If the hotel doesn't exist, then no problem. We can go ahead and it should work the way we want. And let me open our assignment to look for some sample data. So there was some sample data which we were trying to work on. And where is my web assignment? It's showing me all these other things. Sorry about that. I will try to open your assignment here to show you something from the assignment, because in case of your assignment there is something you have to remember. Sample data is given to you so you can use them as a guideline when you are creating the data. Okay, hope the audio is fine. This microphone keeps on sleeping. Right, look at this hotel ID, hotel name. Down here you can see you are adding this hotel. See, Apex Hotel. Let's add the Pinnacle. So the Pinnacle is a hotel. The Pinnacle, right? And then create. It takes you into the home page. There it is. See, the Pinnacle. Okay, so edit. Let's try to see if edit works. So what happens when you click edit? It takes you into this edit folder, and the edit in the controller you have edit function. See, look for the edit function. See here. So in the edit function you have to tell what should happen, otherwise nothing will happen. So you click edit and it goes into edit function. The edit function says we have to go. So what you are going to do is you're going to say return view, and then you'll put here where to send the customer. So this is hotel.edit. So hotel.edit.php, in this case hotel.index.blade.php. remember, always the blade part will come up, because the reason is we want to make sure that we follow the Laravel's blade engine to make our life easier. So when you use hotel.edit, it refers to hotel.edit.php. See, identifies hotel.edit.blade.php. That's the page actually. Okay, so you click the page. In case you click the hotel or the hotel itself, it will take you there. I'm going to edit this one. Okay, click this edit. It takes you in this file. So again, there is some error here. Expected something semicolon. Sorry. Okay, see. Don't worry about such things. Everything always happens for a reason. Okay, undefined variable hotel. Again, you are editing a hotel. I forgot something here. You have to send in the hotel compact. Sorry guys, you have to send the hotel actually. So hotel, send the hotel here, then only it can show you the hotel. Because if you don't know where is the what hotel to edit, how can it edit it? So you are actually sending it. Okay, this way. Now I want to make it to 2020 and update. And again, update doesn't work because we haven't done the function. So 2020 takes us into the update function, and that is because in your edit.php, edit.blade.php, for the hotel you have here a link called URL submission form hotel/hotel ID with a ID of with a value of patch. As I remember, I told you guys just now. So it takes us into the patch, which means update here, this function. Again, in this case, what you're going to do is you're going to get the data from the request and update. And what we have done here is we have only checked if it is empty or not, right? So we'll just check whether it is empty or not, because it cannot be empty. You have to fill it. You have to fill it. And also, when you are filling it, you can't put a name of a hotel that already exists. That is also something important. So if the name of the hotel exists, then we are going to keep him there, and then just show him an error message. And if there is no issues, like else, if the hotel doesn't exist, sorry, if the hotel should exist, right? The hotel should exist. The name should not be the same, because if you edit it and you put here relaxing, this is a different hotel, but still the hotel name you are trying to repeat. That shouldn't be the case. So if this hotel name, it will be there once, right? So let's not do this difficult part for now. We are just going to save it. Okay, so what you are going to do is you are going to check if the hotel data is filled. If it is filled properly, you are going to do something and return something. Okay, so that is the area where we are going to save, and go down here. Where is the update function? update function, yes. Okay, so change it to have update customer.update instead of create. It will be update. So customer equal update. In this case, you have information about the customer coming from the request variable, and you are just going to, you don't need this anymore. You're just going to, because the hotel is here already, so hotel.update. Okay, you don't have to trigger save here because you are going to use update function in order to save it. Update. So when you are updating it again, just like normal cases, you are going to give an array here, and the array is going to have what to update. So try to understand it that way. It's kind of very easy actually. So for example, the name of the hotel is coming from the variable inside the request variable, right? So you have here the item coming from dollar request variable, and inside the request variable you have a variable called name. So you're going to use that variable in order to set it name. Okay, so request name is going to be the name of the hotel variable. Yeah, and what's the issue here? Request number it's not a semicolon comma. Remember about these kind of silly mistakes. You can easily put a semicolon there, so be careful. So you are setting the information by giving the variable this kind of input and taking the information from the index array, assigning them. Afterwards you will just show a message, updated hotel has been saved, for example. That's enough, and then we'll take him back into the hotel, right? Because you have edited it. So let's try to see if it works. Update 2020, click update, takes you into the update 2020. That's what we want to do. Now again the same thing, if you click the name also it takes you there. Okay, so that's the idea. Okay, so add works, edit works, update works. Let's try to delete a customer. Alright, so for now we are just going to delete, and later on we will have to check other things. Like you can't delete a hotel that has rooms. You can't delete a hotel where there are rooms, right? So those things we have to handle later on. For now it's okay, you can just delete the hotel when you get it. So what you do is, once the customer sends the hotel name into the delete function, which is here, see, this is, and I have already discussed with you how the how the page looks like. On the index page we have a delete button, and the same way we are sending into the edit update, except that the method we are sending is called delete. Okay, so you have this delete is going to identify which method you are going to insert the data, we are going to send the data to. It's the delete method. So you go to hotel controller, you are here on the destroy method, you are getting the information here, the hotel is being delivered into you. So you're not going to do much, you're just going to say use the hotel class. Okay, in other words, what do you call this? Use the hotel dot facade. Remember, so these are called, this is called a facade actually. Hotel dot destroy, they send the hotel ID. In this case, you know the hotel you have to delete, so you'll just say dollar hotel slash ID. You'll need the ID in order to delete the hotel. Send the hotel across, and then you are going to be able to delete this hotel. This is a simple way of deleting it. After deleting, you have to send the customer back into the index. So it's reroute him, send him back into home page, and also show him a message box where the yeah, so this is the alert deleted. Deleted hotel has been removed. That's the idea of this. Okay, let's try to see if it works. So relaxin, we have two relaxin. I'm going to delete one of the relaxin. That is, hotel has been removed. Right. Okay guys, so again sorry about the little silly mistakes we are doing here and there, but this is 3 videos I have created separately, trying to explain to you how this works for a single model, and that is hotel. And your assignment, you have a lot of things to do. You have to do the customer, you have to do the rooms, you have to do activities, schedules. So immediately you can start now, follow this example, and you must submit this tutorial for the customer. So your tutorial is for Laravel. During this week's tutorial is, you have to follow this exact example and complete the setup that I have done here in the video first. After you have done the video, now you have to go and get this customer setup and walk in. So you create a customer. If it is not created, you know already, PHP artisan make model, and then you have to say dash mcr, It is going to create the model, is going to create a controller, is going to create a database migration, and you do the migration to save the data into the database. If you have followed these tutorials already, then you will already have the customer database with you. So in the database migrations, you had there the customer table, so that will work out fine. And if, let's say, you want to add a new field, or you forgot to add a field, those kind of things you can easily change. One of the things you can remember is, if you always have to do a change in the migration here, you can just say PHP artisan and then migrate. Okay, so PHP artisan migrate, then give a rollback flag. It will roll back the last table you have inserted. Otherwise, you can create a new migration, PHP artisan make okay, PHP artisan migrate is actually like this, rollback, not a colon. The colon is after the migrate, not before that. Okay, so this is not a rollback, and you can just migrate again after editing the table if there is a change. If you have already done several other migrations and your migration is far behind, there are also ways of rollback, which step to rollback. But instead of doing that, you can actually just try to create a new migration, PHP artisan make migration. Sorry, I just deleted some things here. Okay, PHP artisan migrate, uh, PHP artisan make migration, and then you put here migration, and then give a name to it. It will create a migration for you. If there is a change you want to bring out into the table, and there you can change those things. So we will have a look at those things later on. For now, don't worry too much about what you have to do. It's a framework. It will take time for you to learn the framework. Once you get the hang of it, you'll be really productive, and you'll be able to make your system more functional. And your assignment is huge. It has several things to do, but I think if you really commit to this, this is going to be over in few days. So let's try to put our effort into this, learn Laravel as much as we can, create these database tables, send this across, make our controllers and models, and make our pages, routes, and everything, and have nice working little application that we have where we can show some data to the tutorial. So please try to complete customers, rooms, and activities if you can, also schedules, so I will show you a completed tutorial as well, but I'm not going to give you the coding because it's part of your assignment, and I'm not going to make a video for creating all these things. It's part of your job. For now, I have created an example of hotel. I expect you to submit to me customers. Anyone who didn't submit the customers, I am going to expect that you have no knowledge of Laravel, and that you don't know how to use Laravel, and that you are going to have a difficult time completing your assignment. And if you are not helping me by helping yourself, I can't help you at the end. So towards the assignment submission, you said no, so I couldn't complete those things, I didn't have time. I don't want to listen to those excuses, because now is the time for you to practice, and without practice you cannot submit your assignment. And even if you find your friend or your brother who can do this for you, you are going to be in trouble, because this assignment requires you to do a presentation. I'm going to ask you to see if you have done it yourself, and the way I ask, the questions I ask, I will find out if it is done by you or someone else. So please guys, let's take this seriously. This is one of the best modules you can learn in this whole degree, because later on when you go to the real world, there are software companies who are looking for these skills, who are really looking into the basics. So of course this is not enough to hire you as a software developer, but still, this is the beginning. Once you have this, you can learn on yourself everything else about Laravel and make yourself a huge programmer. Okay guys, thank you very much for listening to me, to watching all these videos. I really am happy that most of you are really motivated to learn these things. Thank you very much.